Hi everyone, and I hope you're all very well. Now, welcome to Medway Peninsula's latest update. And in this video, we'll just be seeing what progress I've been making on converting the factory to a museum, some little extra details I've put through, and what plans I've got going forward. But first off, I'd really like to, I suppose, thank and also apologise to you. I don't think in the last video that I actually thanked you for continuing to watch. And also I'd like to welcome the new subscribers over. Now we're edging up towards 450. I think it's 441 at the last count, which again is amazing considering how many really great videos and channels are out there. So new people, you're very welcome, and thank you again for coming over. The existing folks, many thanks for your continuing support. It is quite humbling, and thank you for your comments, and please continue to make them. I will reply to every one of them. So yeah, it really is great. And on the subject of channels, can I mention two really great scenic work being done, and really on a budget. First one is John at Greenhill Junction. John's just put up a recent video just showing how he's made some tunnels and girder bridges, which is really interesting. But also a couple of videos previously, he shows how he's made a village, and that really is brilliant, and you get some great running shots. The other one is Alan at Buckland Junction. Alan's channel is dear to my heart as it's based in the southern region, and again Alan's been doing some excellent scenic work, and again on a budget, so there were some taking a look at. So it's Greenhill Junction, Buckland Junction. Now a little bit of sad news. Some of you will have heard, maybe via Graham at Lakeside, that Jeff at Tram Junction passed away recently. And I was obviously sad to hear that. Jeff had been a good supporter of Medway, really from when I started, and we used to both watch each other's channels and comments, and yeah, Jeff was a really nice guy, and I loved his layout. It was a mixture of some great rolling stock and also trams. And yeah, it was really interesting. I enjoyed watching it, and Jeff had gone quiet a while back, and I know he was unsure about whether to restart the layout or not. And I was about to send a message to Graham and said that he heard from Jeff when he put up his video. So obviously very sad news, and condolences to Jeff's family and friends. So as I mentioned just a little while ago, we'll be popping into the garage in a short while just to have a look at how the museum's progressing, what I've got in mind for it, just a few extra details I've been adding, and really what I'm going to be doing next. Then after that, we'll be having a look at some weathering I'd done on a couple of wagons. So okay, I'll see you shortly. Okay, so let's have a look at how we're starting off with the museum. So as you can see, I've put a car park in, and then if we move across and pan out, and excuse the bit of the mess, but this was the old Peninsula Brewery, and as you can see, it moved over to here as well. And what has happened is that over the years the brewery has closed down. It's merged with some of the bigger breweries in Faversham. As you can see, MKA Bolts and Screws had it for a while, and it just remained derelict. until a lottery grant was achieved, and it has now been converted to a motor museum, and also it will be a working museum with a small brewery to hold on to its heritage, and will also have restoration of trains, or locos rather, where apprenticeships in the relative skills can be achieved. So as we move on, there's been a couple of exhibits put in, and what have we got? We have Fred Dibner and his Land Rover. We've got Del Boy's Capri and the famous Reliant Robin. We've got Inspector Morse's Jag, and there's an AA motorcycle. So there'll be plenty more to come. The museum will be holding themed events, so watch this space. But that's just a start. Plenty more work to be done to make that alive. Just a little bit more detail coming through. On the station side, we've got a member of staff with a disabled ramp ready for a passenger with a wheelchair. That's from West Hill Wagon Works. And if we move across, excuse me, just to the other side, on the other platform, you'll see a Motability scooter ramp and another wheelchair ramp. And I say those are from West Hill Wagon Works. And that's, I say, it's just a little bit more detail on the station. And let's just pan out. And there's a Class 33 with an interregional train. From Manchester coming through. So here are some items I've got from Model Railway Scenes. Pete Gomm's been going there for a couple of years and produces some really nice stuff. So what have we got? First off is, if I just move them across here, is a pack of 12 chimney pots. And I'm going to use these, paint them up and put them on the Metcalf buildings. They're just a little easier to use than the rolled up pieces of paper that you get from the Metcalf kits. Next up is a pack of graveyard headstones, and again those will be painted up and just to fill up the graveyard in the church. What have we got here? We've got the civic planters. Now they're going to be either put in the park or in the bowls club. What I'll probably do is put a little bit of scatter and then some flowers on top. And then lastly, I'll just move those out of the way. There we go. I have a pack of beer kegs, and they'll just be down by the goods area for what was the brewery. So there we are. That's Model Railway Scenes. A new addition to the fleet. This is Class 416 in the Network South East Kent Link livery, which I've been on the lookout for quite a time, and was looking for getting it at the right price. And it did come up on Rails of Sheffield, so I snapped it up because it covers the area that Medway's based in, and also was what I used to travel to work in. Now it has lights, so what I had done was to paint up some 3D passenger packs from 3D printing, and if I can move across, hopefully, excuse me, you'll be able to see the passengers that I've put in. And if I can come through, hopefully you'll be able to see at the front there, and we've also got a driver in there. So that's the Class 416. As I say, I was pretty pleased with it, and it fits in very nicely. Excuse my finger on Medway. You'll just see it goes through. There we are. Just got a Bachmann 21-pin decoder in. The wagon I used was a old Hornby OBA wagon. It was in the Rail Freight livery, so the bonus was I didn't have to do any painting. So I just started out with the chassis using a sort of mixture of black and dirty browns, and just to give that look of mud and detritus coming up off the track, and also to take away from the plasticky look to the chassis. I then moved on to the body and just started off by giving it a black wash. It just took away again the new plasticky look to the paint, and also brought out some of the details of the rivets and metalwork. So I let that dry and then moved on to the inside of the wagon. I got my usual pack of light colour weather wood paints, acrylics, and just started off by painting on the base layers and then wiping it off with a paper towel. And I continued to do that, and I changed the base layers, the colours of the base layers, and then moved on to the sort of enhancing of them, and just dabbed on paint here and there, wiped it off, dabbed it on, wiped it off, and just until I got the look that I was happy with. So I let that dry, and then just moved on to the body. And again, it was a case of dry brushing some dirty browny coloured paint on, and just to give again that look of just everyday sort of dirt splatters. I didn't want a heavy weathered look. I didn't want to look so it would look like it might be a condemned wagon. I wanted it to be in good order, but just everyday dirt. So I went on again, and that was sort of dry brushing on and off, and I let that dry, and then finished off with some weathering powders. I think it was Humble Dark Earth, some of the DCC Concepts rusts. I give a little splatter of the WWS iron weathering powders, just over the top, and just until I really got to a position that I was quite happy with. Finished it off with the MIG axle grease and dabbed that onto the buffers and onto anywhere that would have some grease or oil. And so once I was happy with that, I thought about a load. So I had previously bought the scale model scenery timber yard kit, and that had roof trusses, it had planks of wood, planks of plywood. So I just made a load out using those. I'll add a few more of the trusses. Somebody pointed out that the trusses would have been not spaced out but put together, so I'll do that. So there's still more to do, but yeah, that's how it came out, and I was pretty pleased with the effort. And I pop a little running shot showing it on the track. But yeah, that was really my first real attempt at weathering and putting the load in. Okay, so the next stage was by hand to just paint the ladders and the buffer beam area into black. As you can see, it's not too bad. Any little overspill is going to be covered up by weathering, but this just gives us a base. The next thing to do is the underframe and the coupler into a sort of dirty track browny blacky colour. So there we go. That's stage 2. So although it looks that there's not been much happening in the garage, it's mostly been little details. But I have got some bits on order that I just need to push the museum side onwards. And also, I'm going to be working on the park side. And we'll hopefully see that in the next update. I'm going to be carrying on doing some more weathering. And I've got a little project that will be for the museum as well. So going forward, hopefully with the weather improving, I can get into the garage a bit more. I've got a load of painting of models and figures, etc., that needs to be done. So I'm going to get on to that. And so there we are. So that's the end of the update. And I'd also, as I said before, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you're not a subscriber, then please do. As many have said, it doesn't cost anything. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Comments are always welcome, and suggestions, and as you know, I'll always answer them. So until the next update, everybody keep safe and happy modelling.